But shortly after 9:30 this morning, Newtown Police Department received a call for help at the Sandy Hook Elementary School here in Newtown. Upon realizing the intensity and the difficulty of the situation, Newtown called for surrounding police departments and state police to respond to assist. Upon arrival of law enforcement officers at the school, they immediately entered the school as we knew this was an potential active shooter situation. Their focus was to search for students, faculty, and staff and remove them to a safe area outside of the school. They did search every nook and cranny, every room, and every portion of that school and accomplished that task. They took the rescue to a staging area to reunite them with family members. As has been reported, there were fatalities. There were 18 children that were pronounced dead at the school. There were 2 that were transported to area hospitals and pronounced dead at area hospitals. And there were 6 adults pronounced dead at the scene at the school. As the governor has reported, the shooter is deceased. He's deceased in the school. There's a great deal of work going on relative to that. That's the reason we have not identified him as of yet. And by that I mean search warrants, examination of areas of residence, employment, and any ancillary things that may be attached to the identity and to that individual. The scene has been secured. Newtown police officers, state police major crime units from both Western District and Central District have responded and are working with several agencies to process this scene. It is not a simplistic scene, as you can certainly understand. We need to establish identity, we need to document the entire scene, and simply stated, we need to answer every single question surrounding exactly how and why this incident occurred. As the governor said, we will be here through the night, certainly through the weekend, and we're not even putting a time stamp on this as to when we will complete this project. We'll work with the medical examiner's office. We have to establish positive identification, and again, there's a great deal of work that needs to be done here at the school. We'll take some very brief questions, but understand that this is an active, ongoing case, and there are many things that we cannot and will not discuss at this time. Yes, sir.
We're told that there are 2 other crime scenes, including the suspect's father's home in New Jersey and his mother's home here in Newtown.
There is a secondary crime scene here in Newtown. That is in fact correct. There is an adult deceased at that location. I can't discuss any further information on that at this time. There is assistance being lended to us by New Jersey. I don't have the details on that, so I can't answer that. I'm sorry. Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Lieutenant, can you please confirm that the children were predominantly in one classroom and the teacher in that classroom was the suspect's relative?
Okay, I can simply state that the information that we have right now that we want to publicize that the shootings did take place in one section of the school in 2 rooms. Okay, 1 section in 2 rooms. That's as much as we want to go in right now as far as location. Our personnel are documenting that entire scene, and we'll have literally everything mapped out in the final report, final information. We'll present the answers to those questions. But right now, I don't have any more detail than that. Okay. You had a question, sir. Someone? Right now, there is 1 shooter, but again, we're still looking at every ancillary fact and circumstance related to the deceased shooter at the scene. Yes, sir?
Specifics on the weapons used?
No, I don't have that information. I'm sorry.
Did the shooter take his own life?
To be determined. I don't have the answer to that question either. The next step will be the medical examiner's office will certainly assist us in answering a lot of those questions, the manner and cause of death of all of the deceased.
How many injured?
That's it. 26 deceased.
Lieutenant,
no injuries?
Children
I'm sorry, 1 injury. 1 person was injured. Yes.
One classroom?
I'm sorry?
Were the children in one classroom?
They were in 1 section or 1 area of the school. That's the best I can do on that answer. I don't know specifically how many rooms were involved. I was told that there were 2, but in 1 section of the school building.
And then with the adults, were they in other?
Everyone was in that same section of the building.
Was that recorded?
Not to be determined, sir. A section of the building is as far as we want to go.
Did you already say how the shooter died? It was a self-inflicted?
We did not. We did not. That's to be determined once the postmortem examinations are complete.
Does 26 include the shooter as well?
I'm sorry?
Does 26 include the shooter? Or the
20 children, six adults, and the shooter.
So
27 total. That's correct.
20 children you said?
And the one
That is just at the school.
That's correct. That's at the school itself. And then there's 1 more that we just said at a secondary crime scene. There's a deceased adult at the secondary crime scene. Yes, ma'am. To be determined. That's really something that our investigators are going to have to look at thoroughly and completely, and that'll take some time to try and answer that question. We haven't established any of that, ma'am. We have not made any positive identifications. We're working on that. There's some preliminary identifications have been made, but we have, as I said, a great deal of work. That's one thing we have to do, is establish positive identification on all the deceased, and that's a time-consuming process.
Lieutenant, do we know the ages of the victims? The ages, the range, the age range?
I don't. No, I don't. This is a K through 4 elementary school.
And when
Okay.
when police went into the school, were there still shots being fired at that time?
That I don't know. I don't know the time sequence, and that'll be something that we will
Did the
provide you.
police shoot?
What I'd like to do is, no, we did not. What I'd like to do then is tell you that this is a briefing. We'll be back in 60 minutes. Myself and Lieutenant from Newtown will be back in 60 minutes. We'll see if there's any more detail. I've got some of the questions that you've posed. I'll see if I can get some more answers to provide you with information, and that will be just about 20 to 5, quarter to 5.
Was the shooter's mother a teacher?
That I don't know.
Lieutenant, it's 20 children, 6 adults, and the shooter. Is that correct?
20 children, 6 adults in the facility, plus the shooter. That's 27, and then a secondary scene with an additional adult victim at that secondary scene.
28.
Okay.
28.
You said quarter to 5 for another update?
Yeah, about 20 of quarter to 5 will be.
Do you have an age range on the children?
I do not.
yet?
I do not.
Lieutenant, Vance, Lieutenant, VANC.
Yeah. One thing I would like to say is that we've been meeting with all of the family members. It's a very, very difficult scene for the family members, for all the responding first responders. It's a tragedy. It's a tragic scene. We've been asked by the family members to ask the members of the press to respect their privacy and to please leave them alone at this time. They're going through a tremendous amount of grief, which I'm sure you can appreciate. So I've been asked to ask you that personally by the family members. All right.